Hello, good evening, folks. Welcome to the show. I'm Bobby.
Tiffany.
So tonight episode is about focus. So it's we're not going to talk about New Year's resolutions and stuff like that because those all fall by the wayside in like what 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Some people may stick them out till March, right?
Maybe 2 days.
Yeah, some of them get lost really quickly. But this evening we're going to talk about focus. You know, every year you start on a clean slate. You've got the normal things that always run. You've got the normal routines and stuff. But every year we focus on trying to change some things, trying to do better than we did the year before. And we had a business meeting this evening, and we were talking about plans for the year and goals and stuff like that, and just talking about how if last year ended in a slump, then you don't have to repeat the same thing this year. You've got a fresh start, but it's up to you, right? Who can make choices for you? You make your own choices, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna talk to us today. You're gonna be real short.
No,
So I'm gonna clear the air real quick.
I'm
So
gonna talk.
Tiffany and I had a little spat a few minutes ago because it's frustrating. We all get frustrated, and like we do this show every week, and it's always up to me to have the ideas. We've got the kids involved, and the kids have their input, but it just always seems like it falls on me, and I'm frustrated. So I get very little input, and then she gets upset, like, well, you don't talk to me, you don't ask me. The show's coming next week, the week after. It's every Sunday night, right? So in all transparency, we're not perfect, but we have our issues, we have our episodes all the time, but this year is supposed to be different. So don't be short. Buck up, little camper. Put your smile back on. Get over it.
Actually, all of last year was a wash.
Well,
which is why, and it's my problem, but my ambitions for this year are level almost negative at this point. They shouldn't be. But last year, in the end of December, I made this whole family thing, which included date nights, family dinners.
Well, we started a new business. We started
family devotion. I'm not done yet.
Okay.
Family devotions, this whole ambitious thing that we used to do all the time literally lasted we did have date nights spontaneously, but my goal was 52 date nights a year. So a date night a week, that's not too much. And we did none of them. Random dinners. And we have dinner every night, but especially with Jacob working, he may be here, he may not. Kids eat at different times. So
and they look for every reason to be out of the house. So anybody watching, anybody that has teenagers, then they look for every single opportunity to be gone somewhere. And you have to wrangle them in like sheep. Like they just wander off all the time.
Even the little boys, though, because of where we live so close to family, they'll just be like, I'm going out to play, and we'll be
in somebody's house.
I have to call at least 3 people most nights to find them because I have no idea where they are.
So, all that stuff being said, 2020, there's a part of me that misses the slow pace and a lot of unnecessary things not being a part of our lives. That it was okay. Everybody was perfectly acceptable to just saying no. Do you want to go do this? No. We want to go stay at home. We want to spend time with our family, and it was perfectly fine. And then 21 got busy. From May of 20 all the way through most of last year, my life was busier than it's ever
21
been.
21 was kind of a fun busy because we did lots of trips that year to make up for the downtime we had in 2020, which looking back I totally missed that year. Other than what 2020 was all about, I don't miss the drama part of it.
Right.
But I do miss the family time, the quality time, the not pressure to have to attend everything, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
And so then last year in May, we started our own business, and we've talked about that a few times on the show. We've talked about, the life insurance, the 401k rollovers, and all the things that we do. And that got really, really busy really fast. And then, about October, it's just like it hit a brick wall. Everybody stopped spending money because they were all focused on Thanksgiving, Christmas, and like all the investment ideas stopped because the stock market was just diving, almost like a kamikaze pilot, just coming down, and no way of checking up. And that freaked a lot of people out, and they just stopped doing everything. So it slowed way down for the end of the year. And then we had family time, and then we started realizing all the things that we had been kind of pushing aside for the year. Hey, we haven't been having family dinners. We haven't had our Bible studies together. We haven't been doing our devotions. And Tiffany, throughout the last year, she had been the voice saying, hey, we got to get back to this list. We got to get back to this list. And it always just seemed to be pushed aside. So we have a new year. It's time to set new goals. It's time to look at things with a clean slate. Wherever you failed last year, take that as your sign of weakness. You find that sign of weakness and you fix it. You make it better this year than it was last year, right?
Yep. Sorry, I'm distracted by Josh's little monster.
Oh,
one eye is sticking out from the pillow.
It's just a one eye. We got two one eyes in the picture.
My ADD kicked in.
I'm like, what are you looking at? What is behind me? Anyway. What do you have to say on the goals and the plans for this year to help us out and to help folks out?
I don't think I'm the person to ask this question. I just told you I'm frustrated with goals and plans. I have personal goals and plans, like that I do anyways. I just took a break for December as far as like working out, eating right. But as far as
so easy to put the eating right goal aside at Thanksgiving and Christmas, and you think, it's the holidays, and then that's the number one reason why people say, well, I'm going to lose weight and I'm going to eat better, I'm going to get in shape, is because they knew that they blew it in November and December.
I mean, I didn't blow it too bad. I did eat stuff I wouldn't normally eat, but I didn't eat an overabundance of it.
Right. We did start putting sugar back into our diet, and we realized pretty quickly, hey, whoa, wait a minute.
That's a mistake.
This has got to get back out.
Don't do it.
So we do have plans to do some greater things, not just to go out and do greater adventures on, spending money. Because remember, this is no spend January, right? No spend January. So you got to be creative in your adventures. When's the last time that you went to the park? When's the last time you just went to the park and let the kids play? You just went to the nature trail. Covington still has a nature trail. You can go to places and walk. Covington has a bike trail that I bet nobody's going to.
You can do boot camps as a family.
No, yeah. Okay. So since you brought it up, so we woke up a little stiff this morning.
Not too
and
bad.
a little
Not as
achy,
bad as I thought,
but I thought that I was extremely out of shape. And I realized in the middle of the boot camp that I was in bad shape, but not as bad as I thought I was. So every year, Master Mason at High Octane Martial Arts, Jerry Mason, does a boot camp for anyone that is expecting to get a black belt. That if they're in the program and their short-term goal is a first-degree black belt, you have to have the boot camp. Or you have to go through a fitness test. And he recommends that you go through both, but you have to have a minimum of one or the other. And so all four of us, it was myself, Judah, Allie, and Tiffany did the boot camp. How did it go for you?
I thought it went well. It went much better than I expected.
Right. So we didn't have any idea really what to expect. We just heard stories of the past of, oh man, I threw up, or oh man, I about died. And there was a couple times that the dry mouth was so bad that I was like, man, can I drink enough water? But can I drink just enough not to throw up? Yes. But Master Mason did a pretty good job of getting us just to the edge of puking and really testing our limits. And shoot, hats off. I tip my hat big time to Judah and a little guy named Drew. They're both about the same size. They're both like 4 foot tall. And happy birthday, Judah. But these two guys held a push-up position, not a plank, but a push-up position for 12 minutes when Master Mason had to make them stop. It was a longevity thing. He was doing it to see how your mind could override your physical condition and how it would put you in a place to achieve a goal and see what your body could really be put through. And I'm not gonna lie, I hung in there for a while, but right at 7 minutes, I was out. I was done. But these two little guys, 8 years old, held it for 12 minutes. Every other person in the class had dropped, and they had started dropping by like 2.5, 3 minutes, and were gone. But these two guys were soldiers, man. So congratulations. And I'm super proud of that guy. Him and Allie did incredible. I expected us to make it. I expected us to get through because in my mind, I was not competing against him or Allie. I was competing against you.
Same, because I kept watching you in the mirror.
I know. And I was shaking. Push-up position, my face was red.
That's the only thing I didn't really get super competitive in. I dropped at 2.5 minutes. I know that I can hold plank longer than that, but also it was early in the workout, and I was thinking,
I still have an hour and a half to go of this.
Yes, but I'd already like blown my arms out at the gym this week, so I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna be able to do all of these push-ups that are coming if I hold this push-up position right now." So
yeah, so we had a great time, and we may incorporate that into our yearly family tradition. It would be a great idea to do it again next year. So obviously, we're working on our plans and our goals. But what about? I think I hear a kid in the bathroom.
Yeah,
if you hear a toilet flush, it's a kid in the bathroom. It's fine. But what I want to talk on next is family and quality time. That's pretty much non-existent for most people, right? Any comments? The one person watching right now? Nothing? Okay. So, what's your idea for family time and quality time? What are some simple things that people can do when they think, I'm so overwhelmed, we're so busy, we're so spread out, and it is nearly impossible to get everybody under one roof at one time to do anything?
Well, I would say family dinner, because that's the most
it's practical. Normally, just like the Baptist church, if you feed them, they'll come.
Although I'm thinking maybe we should swap it to family breakfast.
Yeah.
It would have to be stupid early, and I wouldn't actually eat food.
But Saturdays and Sundays are good options for family breakfast. And then normally Wednesdays, I go into work just a little bit later than normal. So if we were going to continue our schedule through the week, so like what we're hashing out here, folks, is just practical ways of just bending your schedule a little bit, like working around things. Jacob does not have to be at work early on Saturday. He doesn't do anything on Sunday. He's off normally on Sundays. So Sundays, everybody's like, oh, it's
And
just my day to sleep in.
Though, especially if you have teenagers, just tell them. I mean, heck, you're still their parent.
Right.
Just tell them, hey, you're going to be here at this time, or there's consequences.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like
I like it.
And they can make decisions for themselves.
Right. They act like they're grown.
They think they are.
Yeah, there's always a time when the teenagers just realize that their parents are stupid and they know everything, right? But then they still have to come to you for money because they have not figured out how to make money. They know everything and have no idea how to make money, right?
Yes.
So they still come to you for everything they need and everything they want. So family and quality time. So what made me think about this is when we went to the amusement park and the indoor water park and the beach, things like that we did at our New Year's weekend. And we were spending family time together, but 9 times out of 10, everybody lives their life on these. It's social media or it's phones, and it kills our time. So many people will spend all of their time like just watching a moment instead of living in a moment. My kids had a blast. The roller coasters, the bumper cars, the little planes, all these little rides and all these little things. Like, they're remembering those times, but mom and dad were right there with them. And, we took a few pictures, but we lived in the moment with them. Come on, Tiff, you got me by myself here.
Sorry. Josh was seeing how many bubbles he could make in the sink.
So I'm just talking about how normally everybody lives through their phone, and instead of living in the moment and enjoying the moment together. So what are some tips or some ideas that you have to help people in that situation to spend more quality time?
Just do it. Don't think about what Facebook or Instagram or social media posts you're going to make out of the good time. Just be there, be present. Nobody else really cares.
So, like, I remember when I was a kid that, it took you a couple weeks to get your pictures back, right? From a vacation or whatever. So it always took a couple weeks. So then everybody would be like, oh, look at my vacation pictures. And they would bring in a stack of pictures, or they'd bring in a photo album, and everybody in the office, everybody at school, whatever, was pretty much saying, I don't give a rip about your vacation.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it is fun to see, but like this last trip we took, I did make a Facebook, Instagram post of it, but it's mostly for my memory, and I had to gather pictures from your phone, from Jacob's phone, Allie, Tess. I had none of my own.
Right. So, and then think about this flashback too. How many people had the little squares that went into the projector, and you had to hit that button and it would go, and they had to have the lights off, and everybody's like, ooh, like, who cares that much about your vacation? Like, really, when I'm dead and gone, who cares about what I did in my time with my family? But my family's going to care what I did with them in those moments, right? Instead of saying, oh, hey, here's a picture of dad at the beach, or here's a picture of dad standing next to a roller coaster, here's a picture of dad, whatever. The pictures that I want them to see and go, yes, I remember that day. That day was a blast. That day was so much fun. Mm-hmm. I remember we did this. I remember we did. It's just to spark that memory. And that's the things that really bring about quality time. That when you live in the moment and you experience it together, instead of hold still, let me get your picture, taking a picture for every stinking second of every day, just so that you can look back and only remember it in the picture. Where were you in the moment? Where were you at that time? What are your kids really going to remember about you? Josh, look, who's that? Would you leave Mama alone? She's trying to do a show. So, what else you got, Tiff?
I don't know. Nothing else.
Every week. Nothing else. The idea's gone.
No.
No?
Wait, I didn't know I had a different idea. I mean, pretty much just live in the moment. That's my advice. Just live in the flipping moment.
Pick your nose.
But the same can go for work.
Yeah.
All work and no play.
Makes Bobby a dull boy.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
I knew it was coming, folks. I've been married to this lady for just over 19 years. I knew it was coming. So, yes, I have 3 jobs. And it's tiresome sometimes.
Although I will say over the past couple months, November, December, you've been doing good.
Mm-hmm. And it's a hard balance to make. For any of you that are burning the candle at both ends and it's nearly meeting in the middle, you've got to make that balance between your financial and fiscal goals and quality time with your wife and kids, your family. You've got to make that balance. If not, you're going to end up old and gray and alone.
Yep.
Right? Or bald and alone. All right, Jeff, close us out here. Finish this out.
Okay, thanks for watching.
Thank you and good night. All right, folks, look, I love her so much. She is like always having to be prodded and always having to be coached along. But one day,
a lot of words.
One day she's going to have more words for you folks. One day she's going to do the show almost by herself. But until that day, thank you for watching. Thanks for loving us. Thanks for the messages. Thanks for the support. We love you. We'll see you next time and have a great evening.